Hello, world. Welcome, 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 or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Thursday, January 30th, 2020, and I'm here live, here to chat with y'all about some things we've been seeing in the news and online. I'm going to shout out to my chat first. Truth Warriors in the building. Hey, people. Priscilla, Brooklyn, client Casey, hello. Idelia, good to see you. Brooklyn Chanel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Alie Volita, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm expecting a couple folks. I'm just going to give it a second, but I want to welcome you guys. Tahira, you know what, Tahira, I need to chat with you offline somehow. Um, Nunu, hey, hey, Lady Eugenia, hello. Welcome, you guys. So we're going to have a couple people call in and join me. Yada Dada, what's happening, sis? Yada being one of them, and Miss Kim, she'll be joining us soon, hopefully. Hey, Capri. So let me start off with this. Gotta start off Truth Talk with Truth Bell, you know. Hey, Miss Kim. I'm going to read from the chat. Miss Kim is saying, welcome everyone, love and positive energy tonight. Like and share and subscribe, Truth Warriors. And yes, let me remind you, hey, D, what's happening? The engaged one. Sorry if I missed you before. Much love to you. Much love to all you guys. Hi, Wayne. Mimi. Hey, sis. I'm glad you made it. So yeah, I kind of forgot to let folks know I was going live. I let a couple people know, but still didn't confirm the time. But I do appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna have a nice little conversation. Daddy's girl, good evening to you also. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of things have been going on, as you know. I mean, as much as I try to leave this sector, they just pull me right back in. But I'm not gonna abandon any news updates when it comes to this story. Hey, Rosalind. Glad I'm back. I was here last week. I appreciate you though. Thank you for missing me. Um, let's see. Am I tuning into his interview tonight? I don't know. I don't even. What time is the interview? Let me know. Um,
Just a sec.
sorry, y'all. So let's see. Hi, Sunshine. Good to see you. Andre Guthrie. What's happening? All right. So I want to thank my mods, as always, also for holding me down. And I want to thank you guys, you Truth Warriors, for standing by me. And we're going to navigate these waters. A lot going on, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff. But I want to start off by first, again, offering my prayers and condolences to, the family members of all involved in the helicopter crash, which did include Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, along with these 7 others. I believe there were 7 others, and also on that charter. My heart is still very heavy for them and their loved ones, of course. Want to acknowledge, the the passings. The conspiracy theories didn't take very long to circulate, which doesn't surprise me. As soon as I think I got off of my live, I was getting text messages and emails. And I'm not going to get into those specifically, at least not this live, but it's interesting how some of these things appear to have been predicted in the media, no less. It's very, very, very interesting. They actually, what I'm told, it's called predictive programming, right? But that's like I said, a whole other live. Yeah, Brooklyn, I agree. News was hard and definitely shocking. And again, my heart is still very heavy. I am kind of behind on doing my readings. I still haven't connected with Nipsey, being that the anniversary of his passing is coming up. I'll probably do something with that, but I also definitely am feeling Kobe. So Mrs. Wells, long time. You guys, you keep saying long time. Check my channel. You guys are missing stuff. My numbers. You can look at the videos on my channel. I have been going live. Not as many vlogs. They do take a lot of time for me. So I've been jumping on live instead. But we were talking about Kobe, his daughter, and the other passengers on the helicopter that crashed. I think it was this past Sunday. It's hard for me to stay in the real world sometimes because I'm in the esoterical realm a lot, and so my days get mixed up. So forgive me, But I want to move on. It's really hard to go from a great man like Kobe Bryant to the likes of Jelani Miraj. Let me get that right, Jelani Miraj. It isn't easy, but it must be done, and that's why I'm here. So we're going to talk a little about his case. That, if you don't know, Jelani Miraj is Nicki Minaj's older brother. Okay, this is how we know of him. But he was just tried and sentenced to 25 to life for child rape, specifically for his stepdaughter, former stepdaughter. So, Rockin' Robin, welcome. Welcome back, should I say. Teresa, hello again. If I'm irrelevant, I can delete myself. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Sunshine, the news is heartbreaking. Mrs. Wells, I haven't been able to keep up with all of your blogs because I've been busy. Happy your notification popped up and I thought about your channel. Thank you so much. I understand being busy. I'm also a busy person, and I get it. I'm not mad at you. I'm not here for numbers. You know what I mean? I'm here to just, speak what I'm here to speak and connect with you guys who care. Other than that, it's whatever. Um, if he did it, he should serve time. Oh, right. Hey, Nikki. Nikki, baby. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually going to read this short article regarding the case in case there's some people who aren't aware. Like I said, the title of the article is Judge Sentences Jelani Miraj to 25 years to life. Nicki Minaj called him her hero, in quotes. So it says a judge Monday sentenced Nicki Minaj's older brother to 25 years to life in state prison for raping his stepdaughter. It's so hard to say those words. Nassau County Court Judge Kevin McDonald called Jelani Miraj an abuser with a misguided moral compass as he sentenced him for sexually abusing his 11-year-old victim over 8 months in 2015. In quotes, my view is that you groomed this child, Judge McDonald told Miraj as he sat with his head down in a rumpled navy blue suit, his hands cuffed behind his back. You made her think this was okay. You're her stepfather. Those children called you daddy. And this is from the judge. And those are exclamation points at the end of those statements. So he was, pretty adamant about his stance and his decision. Pretty Ricky is what they call me. Welcome back. And thank you for moderating. Appreciate you. In case you're just joining, I am reading a short article about Nicki Minaj's older brother, Jelani Maraj, who was sentenced to 25 years to life for raping his 11-year-old stepdaughter in 2015 over a period of 8 months. I'm going to continue reading this and then we can move on. Says, however, in impact statements, the victim's family asked for a harsh sentence and said Miraj's abuse had devastated the entire family and left his tween victim and her brother with a lifetime of psychological and emotional scars. The victim, who they're not naming here, said she has struggled with suicidal thoughts following the abuse. but is now on track to graduate high school and wants to advocate for other sex abuse survivors. And in quotes, she says, "Today I'm able to say I can use my voice for me and others who are survivors of rape," she said, dabbing tears from her eyes. Mom Jacqueline Robinson said, although she had forgiven her ex spouse, she said, "A long sentence will show her children that their words have power." And that's in quotes. And that's no lie. Definitely have power. And it says, "No length of time will give back my children the innocence they lost." Robinson said, "The victim deserves to live her life knowing that he'll never be able to come near her again." Miraj's defense had asked for a sentence of 10 years, arguing that he turned his life around after battling alcoholism and was now beset by a host of health problems, including acute gastritis, hypertension, gout, and diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is how that's pronounced. Okay. So, again, we have somebody who is sick, clearly physically, but probably coming from the inside, asking for a sentence when they offered him 10 years, from what I understand initially, and he turned it down and decided to go to trial. So now he's wanting his 10-year sentence back. But Judge, it says here, but Judge McDonald questioned whether Marsh had afforded the same mercy to his stepdaughter. The judge said, "You asked for mercy, the mercy you gave the victim. She was 11 years old and you raped that child." And the judge, again, spoke, and they described this with exclamation points at the end of these statements. Red Planet saying, "Stop bringing men around your kids." Let me ring the bell on that. You know, you got to be careful. And this right here, and I believe so. The son witnessed one of the accounts, from what I understand, which is what, as a witness, that kind of held a lot, it held a lot of weight with the judge, or with the jury, and then the judge with the sentencing. So the judge, again, let him know that you raped this child, and what type of mercy are you asking for when you didn't give any? So it goes on to say, after the judge handed down the sentence, Miraj kept his head down as court officers led him back into the cells. It says cops arrested Miraj, 41, back in 2015 after his victim came forward and accused him of sexually abusing her almost daily for a period of 8 months, with the last rape occurring one day before his arrest. So he wasn't stopping, and I'm sure he knew. See, this is so hard to talk about because it's so disgusting. It's beyond primitive. I don't even know how this type of mind works, but okay, so it goes on to say the Nassau District Attorney's Office initially offered him a plea deal of 10 years, but he rejected the deal and took his case to trial. In 2017, a jury found him guilty. In 2017, again, it says, of predatory sexual assault against a child. Outside court, Miraj's mom, Carol, said they plan to appeal the verdict. And in quote, she says, "We believe in God for the appeal. Success and favor. He's going to win in the appeal." And that's how the article ends. So the mom here is saying that God's going to help him get out of this. When, in my opinion, it's actually God that is why he's being held accountable for this. Part of why. It's funny how people want to call on God when they're being just the worst at the human level that you can get. Um, I'm just making sure I'm not missing nothing on this. So let me see what you guys are talking about. Miss Kim, the prosecutor, had DNA results from child pajamas, and he had the nerve to say it was the alcohol, SMH, exactly. And Nikki was going to backs. Oh, yeah, she was defending him. I don't know. So I know that in the first trial, she wrote a letter and she called him her hero. I don't know if she, is still supporting him in that way. I believe she is, which I don't know. It seems to me she would do, if she's going to do that, it should be quietly. She has a lot of young girls who follow her, and it's just not a good example. So I bring this up because, well, first of all, it was in the news and it is a big deal. So they saying the sentencing happened in 2017. We're in 2020 now. So he's been waiting 3 years or almost 3 years for this sentencing. And I'm glad that it was a hefty one. Um, this type of thing is happening all over the world. And it's time that these things come out publicly. These people get held accountable, held to the mat, as I say. Just like old Rico Kelly being held to the mat right now for 40 something odd indictments against him regarding child rape, abuse of women, also. I mean, if everybody really came forward who was touched by this guy in that way, I'm sure there would be boys and men also um, being called victims or accusers in his cases. Looking at the chat, what's going on? Pretty Ricky's out here chopping off heads. I appreciate you guys for keeping this platform right. We got to protect the realm around here. It's a lot of haters out there, and I'm not even, you know, tripping off of them, but I just need to acknowledge. Um, so let's see. We're gonna move on to talk about Rico Kelly. I call him Rico. I was calling him Sylvester previously, but that Rico case, I think out of all of them, well, no, let me take that back. I think with Rashana Landfair being in the mix, with regard to the which one is she with, the Illinois? Is it the federal or the state? I know she's in. I think in both the New York and Illinois. But I just want to. I have all the information. I'm just it's a little jumbled. It's so much of it. But I'm gonna have a couple of y'all calling Yada and Miss Kim. You guys I know are contributing tonight, thankfully, because you guys got all the info and all the details. So feel free to call on in. Um, I think our Kelly is looking at his future, or Rico, excuse me, Kelly is looking at his future with Jelani's case. It's totally different circumstances, obviously, but at the same time, both detrimental um, to the victims, the families, and regardless of his notoriety, I feel like it's finally his time to, pay the piper, as we say. Miss Kim, you're sweet. I'm waiting on y'all to call. Let me make sure my phone is available. All right. But yeah, so Rico Kelly took some losses this week, and we're gonna talk about that stuff. Yeah, agree, pal. He's done. Um, Miss Kim said y'all to call first. Okay, here we go. Hey sis, I have Yada Dada on the line, y'all. Can you hear me?
Hey, Don. Hi, Goddess Warriors.
Good evening, good evening.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. Can you guys hear Yada okay?
Good evening.
Give me some bells so we can know for sure. Um,
Hey, Chuck.
One second. So I'm gonna let you lead the way on. So we're talking about Rico Kelly, and I think let's see. We should probably first talk about. We had one of the stories was that some of his attorneys or all of the attorneys, right, exited the civil case that Heather Williams has against him, right?
Yes.
Is that something that you can talk about?
Yeah, pretty much. I've just been reading up on everything. What I found out was 3 civil lawyers, I believe, they dropped out for whatever reason. We don't know yet, but we know he just dropped off the case. It could be because funds, you know, a lot of the backlash that's been coming off of social media. That's for sure.
I agree. I think that what I remember reading is that they didn't feel they could legitimately defend him in the case. And I don't know if that had to do with money or if it had to do with what some things they found out. Um, any thoughts
Well,
on that?
it could be a little. It's just a mixture of both. People just it's just too much going on. It's just too much going on with R. Kelly, and more people are popping up. And like I was telling you before, it's people that you guys out there don't even know that he has hurt. It's people that he grew up with. It's people that he's been knowing for years and years and years that have not said one thing. So yeah, I think the more things that people is coming up and saying he did this and did that to me, that's more work they have to do. So they dropped out.
Right. I'm looking at the chat. Mrs. Wells says nobody wants to be tied to Kel's case, because it's too much evil involved. Yeah, you know
Too
what?
much evil.
That goes
Too
back
much
to
evil, guys. It's like a spiritual war going on out here. We are going against real demons. We really are.
I wouldn't say it's like a spiritual war. I would say it is a spiritual war. Like we spoke earlier on words. Words are potent, and when you speak, the truth is that this thing is happening. We're in it, and
Yes, it is.
if you haven't picked your side yet, I suggest you do so, or actually your actions are going to be doing that for you. So I would make sure you're on the right side of right when it comes to what you're doing out here. um I'm reading the chat, sorry. Brooklyn, it could be there's too much against him, and supporting him means you support his behavior. And that's true, but one of the attorneys I remember specifically is still on his New York criminal case, from what I remember I saw today. So I don't know if it has to do with, maybe it was a conflict. I really don't know. But we do know that that's a L for him. That's a L.
Yes, it is. It's a big L. And the only thing we can do is be patient and time will prevail. It's like jumping on platform to platform and listening to this person, what they got to say, and just keep doing that. You have to do your research. I've been studying R. Kelly for a long, long time. I have friends that dated him, and I finally reached out to her. It was about a week ago when I told you about that, and you guys were not imagine.
Hold,
You guys were not imagine.
hold that thought, because Kim is calling in. Let me put her on hold.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Miss Kim.
I got it done.
Hello. Okay, hold on. Yada was giving us a little story. Go ahead, Yada.
Yeah, I was just saying, I had a friend that recently dated him. I just want to let everybody know why I'm so strong and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, because I know for a fact offhand, this man is a pedophile. He likes young women. And I had a girlfriend that dated him off and on for at least about 8 years. And, I called her recently, on our memory because we were so young back then. I was like 16, 17, and she was like 18. And, she met up with him one day at the bar downtown in Chicago called Cotton Club. And, she told me she ran into him or whatever, and he was sitting there with Aaliyah. And she kind of like got upset about it or whatever. And he got up and went outside because, they haven't known each other already for a minute. She had to ask, he went outside to his Jeep, whatever car he had at the time, he went outside. And, he called for her to come outside. And so she questioned him and asked him, like, who is that little girl you with? She was like, Yada, I think she was a baby. She said, when I saw her, she was a baby. She said, that's the only thing that I could see. And, he denied the fact, whatever. And she said they was outside talking for like 10 to 20 minutes. She came outside, arguing with him, very, very upset. And was like, I'm tired of you talking to other women in front of me. I'm tired of it. And, she was like, I couldn't believe it. She was like, Aaliyah called me out my name and everything. So she said, we went all the way. And that part right there is more to this story. I don't want to share her story because this is her story.
Right.
But that part right there is
Wait, she said Aaliyah called her out of her name. That's what you said.
Yeah, she called her.
So
She called her a bitch.
they were arguing.
She was like,
Mm.
she was like, she said I couldn't even say nothing to her because she was so young.
Wow.
I was like, wow, it's crazy.
Once again, him pitting girls against each other and putting people in situations and being with her on that level in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, but your friend, she was of age or?
But at the time she was talking to him, when she was like 17, like we were in job court, Edinburgh, Indiana. We were in job court, so she was a little bit older than me.
Okay.
So she had met him there, and then when she got home, she said when she met up with him at the Cotton Club, she was turning 21, and he was sitting in there with her. She was like, he had a cream-colored Cherokee, and then he had to know to tell her, "You remind me of my Jeep." The song was for her. I said, "Wow, he told everybody that story."
I was gonna say that's something he typically uses. Do we know how old he was? He was at that time when she saw him with Aaliyah.
Well, if she's 21, if she was 21, and I say she was maybe like 4 years older than me, he probably was like in his 30s, like early 30s. No, when he married Aaliyah, this was the time before he married Aaliyah, so he had to be like 26.
Mid-20s.
27 or
right.
something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Too old
Let
to
me
be.
correct myself for the people in the bushes. They know what I'm talking about.
Oh, they ready to throw them stones.
Don't play.
They ready.
Don't play.
It's okay though.
Don't play with me.
So Kim, we were talking about, the fact that, we just basically touched on the fact that he lost those attorneys in his civil case against, or the one Heather Williams has against him. And her story is what, she was 17 when she met him, and he had sex with her, right? And she's accusing him of abuse too. What do you know about that case, if anything? Or not, if not the case, the attorney's leaving the case.
I know. I had wrote down and I put down hello everyone in the chat and in the live. I'm sorry. Okay, by his attorneys withdrawn from the case, from the civil case. If he doesn't, get his own lawyer, and let's say he's stuck with a public defender, what does that mean for the victim?
Wait, you said what now? I'm sorry.
By his attorneys withdrawing from the civil case, what does that mean for the victim? Let's say he's stuck with a public defender, and he doesn't retain another attorney.
Well, he has a time frame. I think, was it 30 days? I know he has a time frame to
days.
Okay, to get 28 days. 28. Yeah. Okay, to have a new attorney, right? I'm sure I don't see him having problems replacing the attorney. I don't know why. Maybe because a lot of people want business, so they put their names out there, even if they're not getting paid. Somebody's gonna take this case. Yeah, I was telling her that earlier. I was like, he's going to have a lawyer, no matter what type of lawyer it is. It can be the regular lawyer, whatever, some type of referee lawyer, but he will have one. They will make sure they put someone in his place. I mean, for that place, if not, unless he is defend himself. He's not gonna do that. I doubt it. He's not gonna do that. He haven't been to one birthday. He don't want nobody to see his face, to be in so much shame and guilt. How you defend yourself when you claim not to be able to read or write? Even though I really don't believe I don't believe that's 100% accurate. But exactly. So I'm reading the chat. I really think that I really think they know Kelly is guilty. They know it. Yeah. And they just don't want to waste their time. And you're not getting paid for what? Well, I'm sure the attorneys know what's going on. If they're anything half worth their degrees, they know that this man, and maybe they don't believe everything, but there's for sure. And like I was talking to someone earlier and saying that Rashana Landfair with her alone is enough, in my opinion. So, regardless of what people have to say about this accuser, that accuser, and even with Azriel Clary coming out with her claims of abuse, I think with that Rashana in the bag, and I'm not saying she is, I'm just saying if she was allegedly then
Yeah.
I think that's enough for me to be satisfied that he's going to be convicted. I think there's still people out here worried about it. I'm not worried about it personally.
Yeah, I think he's done it. Everything is solid. And I want to say Greenberg even said the chances of winning between 1 and 10 was a 12.
I'm sorry, I'm messing with this music. So you said Greenberg. Say that one more time. I want to say, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, I don't know if he tweeted this or if he said it on an interview with a news reporter that within the case, Kelly, between a scale of 1 to 10, what was Kelly chances would be a 12. Like it would be kind of far fetched because of what he's up against. Okay.
And with evidence and everything against him, it's just I don't know. This was with I noticed that they're playing a lot of Aaliyah. God bless her baby song. I think she's getting justice now. I think there's more to it than we know and it's been revealed. Because when they brought her the videos and music and interviews again, if people were paying attention, that was before we knew that they were gonna charge him with the bribery and everything. And she was gonna be part of the case. Now Barry's playing in the nightclubs out here. I went out the other night. They're playing Aaliyah all on the radio. They're showing all her interviews and videos. And I don't think that's for nothing.
Right.
And I think it's going to be more that's going to be revealed and exposed as we get closer to the trial. Once she could be at peace, the person that violated her and took her virginity and all of that, and abused her. She's resting. Exactly. She was silent about it the whole time. She didn't say no word. So she's getting her peace. It's her peace, and I said that. Yeah, and you know what? I also, I was thinking what we spoke about earlier when I read more and more research about Barry Hankerson. Whenever him and Kelly and them were taking their grave, I look at it like Barry Hankerson. He propositioned his sister first, which was his mom, and then he did his niece. And that's just because how it's presented, it looks like that's what he did.
Barry Hankerson definitely is somebody I'm wondering what he's behind the scenes with all this with regards to all this stuff. I would really hope.
It just when I was researching, it just said they don't know if he's living discreetly and where, or do the authorities have him? Because it's a lot of people want to know where he's at, what's going on behind him.
Well, I was sent some information, let me know where he's at, and he's in LA.
Is going to remain silent.
Wait, hello. Wait.
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 Trust me.
Wait. Hello. Hi. Okay, wait. It's okay. I just can't. That just drives. It makes me scared. Okay, let me just say, Barry Hankerson I was told that I know. Well, if what is correct from what I was told, I know where he's at, and he ain't far from me. So if that is being said, I really hope that he is being used properly with regard to making sure this man gets the time, and he needs to also personally. I feel like he need to be in there with him. I mean, from what I know.
Yes, he do.
From what I know.
100% agree.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who need to be in there with him, but for sure he's one of them. Yeah, for sure. So sorry to break all that up, but you guys can continue. I just needed to throw that out there.
Okay. Well, I know one of his sons. What is his name? Shonda, or I can't pronounce it right. Not Jomo, the other son. In 2015, he got charged with racketeering, child trafficking, and sexual assault, pornography, all kind of stuff, honey. Mm-hmm. And that was in Atlanta. Yeah.
This stuff is going on just far and wide, and why we're here, in case anyone is confused, is to make sure that the narrative, and this didn't, this channel didn't start out for R. Kelly and all this stuff, but it is now at this point. I can't even get away from it. But we want to make sure that there's a lot of chatter, a lot of victim abuse and bashing out there. We want to make sure we're holding survivors and victims up, standing by them, around and under, however they need us to be strong as far as strength and protection. And there's some people out there who are saying some real disgusting things. And like I said about picking a side in this spiritual warfare, you can just listen and watch people's movements, and you can see what side they're on. And if
you can see it.
yeah, you can see, you can
You
hear it.
can see their eyes, you can hear their voice. You gotta.
And I'm gonna tell you, if
take that thing out. Yeah.
And if you're entertaining these demons, don't be surprised if you look up and realize that you are yourself in hell, because devil is all about trickery. So you got to really be conscious about who you dealing with, and letting into your sphere, your spiritual sphere, your energy realm. So anyway, all that said, so aside from the attorneys leaving that civil case, which was a L, we also had the motion. The judge agreed with the prosecution on them not disclosing the identifications of the two victims in the indictment. Right, the judge have it written down, but yeah, who knows about the who can talk on that here? The two.
You said who can speak on what, Don? I didn't hear you.
Oh, hold on. The on the motion that the judge agreed with the prosecution on not having to divulge the IDs of the two Jane Does.
You said not releasing the information on two Jane Does? Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to release the name. They don't want. These women are getting victimized. I mean, you know what I'm saying? These people out here on YouTube, it's basically they for all these bloggers and all that. They don't even want the girls' names released that's in an indictment, because look what they doing.
Well, the judge agreed with the prosecution, so I think that's another L for Sylvester and his team. I mean,
yes, it is. It's messed up all the way around the board. I mean,
yeah.
He needs to just give up and make a plea.
So there were some things that came out in the motion from so you know the defense submitted a motion to the judge. They wanted to know who these women are, who they wanted names, and the prosecution came back and responded. And in that response, there are some things that were noted that I thought were interesting. So I wanted to just go over a couple of things, because Azriel Clary, as I mentioned, she's come out and she's basically spoken on the abuse and different things that we have heard rumor wise, but she kind of confirmed. Well, I don't know that I can't say she confirmed, but she has spoken out to corroborate some of the rumors that we've heard. One of them I found interesting was the one where she said that he coerces people by having them do things such as do sexually inappropriate things with minors like nieces and nephews. And we heard that rumor about that chick who had that video with her niece, who was like 6 years old. Yeah. So by her speaking out on this, how do you guys feel about Azriel coming forward and publicly with this information?
Cool. I'm not gonna say I have mixed feelings about her coming out. In a way, I wanted her to come out in a way that I didn't want her to, because of what's going out here on social media. She was going to automatically get blamed. Automatically. They were going to automatically attack her whether she was quiet or she told her truth. And you know what? I'm not gonna speak on something right now and spew it out right here about what's going on. I just really feel that she just needs some help right now. She needs therapy, and she needs to take some time out Because I think it's a lot of pressure out here. And you have to separate yourself from the world. Like the Bible says, you have to be in the world, but you have to be beyond the world. So that means you got to live in it, but you gotta be in the spirit. God has to really heal you.
Yeah, in it and not of it. Not of it is what the term is. I want to say real quick shout out to a couple people because I'm looking in the chat. I want to say what's up to Ty Mallard if you're still here. Amy Jarrett, what's up to you? Also, welcome back. I haven't looked in the chat in a minute, so y'all may hopefully are still there. And JC, Mike, nice. What's happening? It's good to see you too. And if I missed anyone, my bad. But I just wanted to make sure. Zay97, hello to you too. So, well, you don't want to. Well, I just want to say I listened to Tasha K. She had a couple. Well, she had one today, and then a short little 9 or 10 minutes on Azriel. She was pretty harsh, I think, with how she spoke about Azriel. But at the same time, it's Tasha K. Like, what do you really expect? I know. I hear deep breathing.
I mean, it's so much going on. It's like you don't know what to feel. You don't know what to feel. You don't know what bad these people are coming out of every day. One day they feel this way, one day they feel that way. But I felt like the situation with Tasha K, I just feel like that just wasn't a bad look for us. That's just how I feel about it. No matter how she feels, anybody feels she was right, you could feel that she was wrong about what she was saying, but it still wasn't a bad look. So that's what I'm saying. There's certain things that need to be kept sacred and healed. Sometimes you got to heal in private. You don't have to let everybody know what's going on with you. You don't have to do it.
Let me just say, you guys are saying my voice is echoing. I see a couple people saying I'm echoing.
How you feel? How you feel about it?
Let me know if I'm still echoing so I can fix it.
I commend her for her courage to speak on anything that she felt that she was speaking about publicly. My heart goes out to her and the family. I think if it was 10 years from now or 2 minutes from now, it would have been the same backlash with these supporters and they all one of a kind. Group of supporters of their own pedophilia. I just look at it like she has all the life ahead of her. She's young, she's full of life, which is good. And I think it's time she take it one day at a time. I told her that I'm going to take it one day at a time and God got her. I just think it's overwhelming. We're a victim and we got to try to understand. I can still only imagine what depth of things that she endured and had to, to be around behind closed doors of a grown man. It's like being institutionalized. She's coming out, you can see the freedom that she's enjoying and experiencing that she has not been able to have freely on her own free will. And it's a breath of fresh air. And if that baby, whether it's doing it, whether it's time for it or not, I say she earned it. She earned to do whatever she want to go fly a kite in the middle of the park on the beach. Fly your kite, baby,
Okay.
That man is like military.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. Listen. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting messages that we're echoing really bad, and with that said, I really don't want to continue this live and have people not understand us. So with that being said, yeah, let's come back to this. Let's come back maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and we'll finish this conversation. But I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm sorry for the technical. I have no idea why it would happen.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys in the chat, and till next time. Peace.